Okay, live stream's operating.
Looks like it's reading 7 degrees Celsius outside right now.
I haven't actually looked at the weather. I did change my time to 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm around there as well. Does changing the weather or the time affect the weather, like, or the time, temperature and stuff?
I don't think so.
No, they're separate settings.
Okay.
Evening, guys. Mic check.
Evening, Lee.
Hi, John. How you doing?
I'm tired.
John, I've got a suggestion for you.
What's that?
I think you need to get yourself down to Booker, go and see one of the flying schools, get in an aircraft and do that circuit that you did today for real, and you video it from the right-hand seat.
And it would look the same.
Absolutely, but then, you know, that's proving a point.
I guess it
what
would,
you
wouldn't
did
it?
is a real thing. Absolutely, and it would be a brilliant thing to see, and you can do them side by side.
That's not a bad plan, actually.
On the subject of real things, I finally did the trees patch, and it makes an enormous difference.
Oh, okay.
No, seriously, go for it, everybody listening. An enormous difference.
What one is it?
Sorry, is that for the new updates?
It's the one that's on Flight Sim 2. I think it's just the popular, gives you the short trees.
Okay, is that the same as the standard on stock in Microsoft Flight Sim?
No, it's not
Cool.
stock, it's an add-on.
Okay, how do I get that? Because I had just now about 40 gigs of updates. Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and so on and so on. About 6 updates. Standard in Flight Sim.
Yeah, you need to get it off Flight Sim 2. Just search for trees and download the most popular one. It describes it as shortened trees.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry, I've got a hopeless memory, otherwise I'll tell you the name. Oh wait, I'll stand by.
Trees.
Right, I'm just going to go make a coffee. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah, it says shorter trees, tree height, modification version 4.
Okay, I'll try that tomorrow, because it's now too short time, I think.
Yeah, so for VFR flying, it's tremendous because you can see the roads much more clearly and the railway lines and so on.
Okay, awesome.
I posted the link in the general chat on the Discord.
Okay, thanks.
Great.
Hello, good evening.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
Do we know which runway we're using today?
What aircraft are you flying in, Huey?
I'm continuing my love-hate relationship with the Antonov.
Ah, nice.
Stupid tail draggers.
Does the little fan work next to the dashboard?
Haven't found a way to get it to work yet. It's a shame because it works in the 225.
Yeah, the fans do work. A couple of switches for them.
I'm getting there with the AN2. I can land it a little shorter now.
Yeah, it transformed for me when I realised that you generally don't need any more than 50% prop.
Oh, I'll take note of that.
Yeah, I don't know how true to life it is, but I found that once I brought the prop down really low, suddenly I was able to bleed off speed on approach, and also the flaps actually have an effect, which they didn't before.
Right, I'm back.
And good evening, everybody.
Evening, Bert.
Hiya, Bert.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Good evening. I can't see your live stream, Jonathan.
It should be on YouTube. It's under the live
It's not in-
section on my channel.
But not in Discord.
Oh no, it'll be in YouTube.
Okay.
Oh, I can stream on Discord as well. Most people are usually flying though, aren't they? So they wouldn't have a chance to see it.
But it's the extra sound in my ear on the headphones. Then I can know that you're live.
Okay, I've started streaming in Discord as well.
Okay, thanks.
Good morning from down under. Voice check, please.
Hi, Alice.
Yeah, it's definitely your voice.
Good morning, Alice.
Yep. Morning. Getting me up early in the morning now. 10 to 7 a.m.
You love it, Alice.
Oh, you want to try it sometime? It's great. You still got the rest of the day ahead of you.
Absolutely, yeah. And you still haven't given us the winning lottery numbers.
I need them too. I want to buy the section next door to me up at the beach. They want too much for it. So we've all been out buying lotto tickets in the family, but wishful thinking.
That's a skinny little runway here, isn't it?
Very much so.
Correction, it's a skinny little footpath.
Yeah, to get up in the air and do some circuits.
See, if you were in the AN2, you could land and take off on taxiways like I do.
Like Harrison Ford.
Yeah. He obviously just forgot which aircraft he spawned in, didn't he?
He did. That was a Beaver, wasn't it, that he was flying when he did it?
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds right, yeah.
You can see how skinny it is from your stream, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Ooh, vans.
Yeah, I love the vans for doing live streams because you can just see everything from the cockpit easily.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it's quick enough that if I fall behind I can catch up to the front of the pack easily.
I'm skinny, but it's really long enough.
I don't think you're on transmitter, Johnson.
Really good point.
Jonathan, what's the name of that utility that turns the add-on that turns the labels on and off?
You don't need it anymore.
I know we don't.
Yeah, you can set a key combination on nameplates. I'm not sure what the utility is called.
Used to be available on. But mine's there, but it stopped working for some reason.
Yeah, that is
Yeah, I
odd.
use it. It's something nameplates. Let me check.
But there's an actual key binding now in the sim for it.
Yeah. It doesn't have the flexibility that the other
No, it doesn't.
utility had. Change how the labels looked.
Yeah. So the big surprise today, I think it was Steve that noticed it first, is the Twin Otter has vanished off of the Aeropress website. Aerosoft, sorry.
Yep. Thanks for buying it, using it. You can't get it now.
And
I'm not so sure. Did you see what I said in Discord?
Yeah, I saw that.
the owner of Aerosoft is being really funny about it as well. Basically telling people it's not going to be appearing anytime soon.
Well, it sounds, my reading of it is they're just going to repackage it at a later date. And if what Matthias says is to be believed, that it'll still be downloadable in the app in the other products. It's basically a legacy product section.
Oh, okay.
But you won't be able to, if you didn't have it already, you can't get it.
Yeah, unless you buy it from the marketplace.
That's a really odd thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, if you have something new, then you can disable it, but don't disable it when you're in the middle of the new production.
Yeah, completely agree.
The trouble is, if they do work on it, on the original one, you'd expect an update, but this is the way they can actually sell you a new aircraft.
Yeah, it's a fine line.
It may be that they are gutting it because the sim has changed so much that they can make a lot better version of it.
So does that mean if you have the original, you can't get updates?
I
Well,
guess
they won't
so.
update it at all by the sound of it.
Yeah, so you have to buy another one.
Yeah.
Honestly, the original is fine now. The one thing they had left to fix was the sounds, and they did finally after 1 year.
They weren't great still, but better than what they were at launch.
Oh yeah, it's night and day.
But everyone else seems to make dynamic sound pretty well.
Evening.
Yeah, there's always something in there. PMDG claim it's difficult to get the EFB to communicate with the FMC, but Aerosoft figured that out with the CRJ ages ago.
And the Phoenix, right, with the A320?
Yeah, I assume that was because they use some kind of external system, don't they?
Believe so.
Don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to have some kind of app running if you want to use the Phoenix, don't you?
just fine. Hey, you have 40 million other apps running.
Yeah. It really is about time we got that EFB though, for God's sake. I didn't even care about it, and even I'm getting annoyed now.
I'm trying to get out.
Yeah, we'll depart in about 5 minutes. Just wait for the last few stragglers to arrive.
got the sound fire in it.
Yes, I can do the talky bit that we usually do. So welcome to VirtualFlight.Online. For anybody new, we do this most weeks, sometimes multiple times a week. There's people are arranging flights, and we're fully encouraging people to do that. If you want to arrange your own flights, absolutely go for it. The only real rule we have for the flights is to keep the conversation in the voice chat family friendly. Avoid contentious subjects. But other than that, certainly for this flight, I'm going to stick to about 120 knots. The only full stop during this trip is the one just before we head off to the Snowy Mountains. So there's about 5 stops, I think, to begin with, and then there's one big long last leg, which is really just navigating through the mountains to get to the final airfield. But yeah, we'll stop for a break before we do that final leg. Otherwise, have fun. So we'll set off in a couple of minutes.
What's the elevation, do you know?
The elevation later in the trip?
Yeah.
It's quite high. I don't know without looking at little nav map. Let me have a check.
Little nav map says about 6,000, Jonathan.
Yeah, so you've got a long time to do it though. That last leg, you've got tons of time to climb, so don't worry.
Otherwise, it's all pretty low level.
Yeah, going around the bay in Melbourne, it will all be low level.
Evening all, mic check.
505.
5.
Thank you.
Oh, there's somebody down there on the beach. In the coding.
Skinny dipping over the costume.
Right, shall we get in the air and get going then?
Commander back at Senior just lost his wingtip, a buzz in the field.
That was a nice one.
Somebody's telling lies.
Well, he's pulling grass out of it at least.
I know, I believe.
Okay, first leg, 19 miles, 2 degrees magnetic up to Tooradin, which a friend in Melbourne once told me, and this is the best story ever. The Tooradin airfield has something of a reputation amongst people with various adventurous activities in their private lives. If you read the name of the airfield backwards, it reads "Need a route."
That's awesome.
And I thought this was family friendly.
Well, that's why I was careful in my description of what they might get up to.
Perhaps it's a gardening reference.
Oh, maybe. I imagine, as with most teenagers, there was a time when it was the fashionable place for all the kids to go, and that's how it got the reputation.
Could be the cheapest cannabis.
There goes our friendly rating.
Yep. Right, 2 degrees. Off we go.
If we turn 1 degree right, we'll have a band.
Let's turn the nameplates on. So someone's asking on the YouTube live stream, to be clear, this is not visible if I join Flight Simulator. That's possibly broken English, but if you join the Southeast Asia server, you will see all of us. So if you go to Philip Island in Australia and then head north to follow the same track we are going, you will see a huge cloud of aircraft around the Melbourne area.
Strange looking Cessna above me at the moment.
That's big an aircraft with kilometers per hour CSP.
Guys, I'm new to this. Isn't it like 5 a.m. in Australia right now? So, like when I log in, it starts.
It is, yeah.
That's...
So I've advanced my time onto breakfast time.
Okay.
Well, I'm in NZ and it's 7:06 a.m. So they're a couple of Melbourne, 2 hours behind us. So 5:06 in the morning.
Yeah, this is my first time trying to do this. I didn't see you guys. I'm trying to log in again.
Are you on the Southeast Asia server?
Yes.
Well, they're about to get a multi-engine wake-up.
In your flight conditions, just make sure you've got all players selected when you come into the flight. I can hear that spruce goose from a mile away.
Who's flying the spruce?
Somebody very brave.
Yeah, something.
You can line on the wings if you want to.
Captain Chaos is flying the spruce goose.
Why does that somehow seem correct?
Yo, have you flown the Spruce Goose yet?
Nope.
Seems up your alley.
Yeah, I just haven't got around to it yet. I'm sure I will.
Looks like runway 04 at Tooradin.
Yeah. There's hardly any wind, to be honest.
We'll all go that way and save collisions.
Hipper, isn't it?
So this is French Island that we are flying over at the moment.
National Park.
I was going to say, there's not many buildings on it, is there?
Oh, I've got trees up there. Thousands.
Expect it's French Island, all the builders are on strike.
They're not on strike, they're merely having a tea break.
Ah, yeah, that's it.
My apologies, a coffee break.
Jonathan,
Yes.
the sound of your propeller, your engine is very loud according to the voice
On the live stream.
on the live stream, yes, in Discord.
Oh, I'm not sure I can do much about that in Discord.
Can't hear it.
Yeah, if you're listening to both of them at the same time, you're kind of asking for trouble, really.
You can turn your engine off.
Is the person that's got it too loud got his personal volumes high?
No, it's just that the Discord live stream, if you listen to it, it shares the simulator itself at 100%, I think.
You can't split them up in OBS, huh?
I could... Oh no, it's because he's watching the stream from inside Discord.
Ah, okay.
You know, the one that goes out on YouTube, the simulator is cut to 50% on purpose.
Okay, then I have to watch somebody else's live stream. Sorry. Sorry.
You can turn that volume down though, can't you?
What, within Discord?
Yeah. I've got it. I've got no sound from you.
You can probably mute it.
Yeah, if you right click, you'll get stream volume, which you can turn down.
Yeah, I got it, thanks.
Evening, Patrick.
Okay, so after your touch and go at Tooradin, it's 21 miles, 301 degrees to Moorabbin.
About the spruce.
Yeah, I've got a little nav map working in VR for the first time. I have to say, it's extremely good.
How did you get that set up?
There's an add-on. Someone told me last week. There's an add-on in Flight Sim TO that you can insert it in VR, and it goes into your little selection panel thing at the top, and it's really good.
Great. I have to find out. Right now I'm using MS Desktop as a add-on, and it just brings up any window, the application that you've been running on your desktop.
As we are in Melbourne, did anyone see the Australian Grand Prix yet?
I
No,
listened to it.
sorry, I meant to get up for the Grand Prix and then I fell asleep and completely missed it.
I made sure I was awake. I think I've passed the first two red flags one day, we were pretty unnecessary.
I have the Spruce Goose installed, but it shows a Airbus 320 on mine. So weird that it picks things differently, even though you have them.
Yeah, that's strange. I'm just flying off the right wing of it now. I'll keep up with you then.
Don't worry, Pat, I didn't see that.
Didn't see him slow either.
What kind of racetracks to our 11 o'clock?
I didn't figure those out there, what they were.
Plenty of runways to choose from here, guys.
Holy cow, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I'm going for 35 right.
So anybody that watches Stefan Drury's videos with his SR22 on YouTube, he's based at Moorabbin.
I'm going for 13 right since I'm flying a tail dragger.
The person who mentioned the level nav map VR widget, is it the Flow Pro one?
Good question. I can't quite remember at the moment. It just says at the top here, little nav map VR is what it says. I don't know if that helps.
Okay, I'll keep searching, thanks.
See a lot of skyscrapers coming up ahead. I wonder what city that is.
It's downtown Melbourne.
Ah, okay.
It's on the river.
Looks like we're going around it, huh?
We go across the bay and then we come back and we actually fly right over the top of it, so yeah.
Yeah, we're on the way into Essendon. We can go exploring the city. It should be good fun.
Yeah, Melbourne's a great city. I've been there a couple of times.
I've been there once 10 years ago. It was great.
They play a funny version of football down there, and they're just nuts about it. It's called AFL, and when there's a big game on, God almighty, nothing else exists on the planet.
Yeah, we sometimes get it late nights on TV here, and yeah, you just watch it and you become more and more befuddled with if there are any rules.
Gunchips are compulsory, aren't they?
This sim has started stuttering really badly. I wonder if it's just because it's loading the city in.
I had that issue a lot. It's been better since I removed a lot of aircraft. I'm sure I had an outdated one.
Oh, thinking about it, I'm approaching Essendon and I've got static aircraft switched on, so it's probably loading the models in for them.
I'm not sure if you remember Service Update 3, it destroyed so many add-ons. So I had to pretty much do the same thing and make a new folder and then slowly drag in a group of files until I got stuttering and then backed off.
I just said Essendon, didn't I? I meant Moorabbin, sorry. So did we decide on a runway to use? Or runways?
35 right, I think it was.
Okay.
That's well, I'm sorry. I just landed on 35 left.
Well, we could do parallel tracks, couldn't we, and come in alongside each other?
Do a couple of loops and watch everybody else come in. It wasn't very pretty, mine.
Someone just crashing down off the 35 road.
That Spruce Goose looks like it's about to stall out, so it's turning so slowly.
I was coming for me, I thought it was going away from me.
Okay, so next airfield, Point Cook, 16 or nearly 17 miles, 267 degrees across the bay.
Now I get micro stutters. This has been since the previous update.
So I'm just answering some of the questions on the live stream chat. People are asking about if there are any rules or what network we're on. We're just using the Southeast Asia server. We are seeing other people in the simulator as well. Anybody can join. There's no real rules for the group flights other than if you join the voice chat, you have to, well, we encourage everybody to keep the conversation family friendly. And in terms of flying, we try and stay together as a group, so if anybody gets massively ahead, we ask them to just, fly a circuit or fly an orbit or whatever they want to do. We typically use Southeast Asia purely because in the early days of Flight Simulator it was one of the quieter multiplayer servers, so it didn't tend to suffer from pop-up or losing aircraft in the group. But I think that story may have changed, so we may start trying some other servers out again soon.
Jonathan, if the servers are overloaded, would that also impact the frame rate?
No. Well, I say that, nobody knows for certain.
You get instancing issues, yeah, where you won't see everybody.
Because I don't think if you choose a particular server, I don't think you're choosing where the data comes from. I think that's an entirely different subject.
Yeah, you mean map-wise?
Yeah, the texturing and the scenery data. I think that just comes from the cloud, and that's done on a grid basis, and it's nothing to do with your choice.
There was a comment about the number of users increasing on the flight sim. There's a blog post late last year from Microsoft saying that there's 10 million pilots out here, and they've so far logged 500 million flights and 40 billion miles.
Crikey.
It's almost as remarkable as the VA.
I know.
The VA does more than the game.
We started that virtual airline just to have something to do, and thought, you know, maybe 20 or 30 people might join. 1,000 people later.
Add 2 zeros to that.
It's very well done, Jonathan, because there's not much else around like it, is there?
Nobody else does GA. We're the only one, I think.
And no one else has tours
But all
in the same fashion. Everyone else does scheduled flights. The tours are really what makes it different, and it's amazing.
It is.
And most groups are a lot more restrictive than what we do as well.
Yeah, and I have to say a big thank you to the moderators, because they keep everything friendly. And how many VAs have we all been members of where little Hitlers have come out and told us off and threatened to ban us, and just for doing something crazy on a flight, you know, like having the wrong paint colour.
And we get paid peanuts, literally.
I mean, I can't fly inverted in every aircraft.
I once had a PIREP on another virtual airline discounted purely because I had the wrong livery.
Yeah, don't get banned, because if you get banned, it's the only aircraft or the only airlines that we allow GA and everything.
Which one we are going to use? 35 or 04? Where stands GA for?
The little map says 35, so.
Okay.
Yeah, there's wind on the ground.
What's the meaning of GA?
General aviation.
Okay.
Small aircraft.
The only problem with us doing or allowing for general aviation is the ACARS software used by the VA. Its rules are based on commercial air traffic, which are different than general aviation. So you've got things like the landing lights having to be on below 10,000 feet, which doesn't really apply to a Cessna.
Yeah, we got to keep them on. But there's no real heavy penalty on that.
No, we turned it down. I can influence the rate of the penalties, so some of them have been almost zeroed out.
And we appreciate that.
There's still people that get upset, though.
Because they didn't get their 100%.
Yep.
Don't take any notice of it. Go and enjoy the flight. It's all about the scenery.
But training-wise, I think it's pretty good to have some kind of, you know, punishment, not punishment, but some kind of penalty for when you're not.
Yeah, it just makes you a bit more mindful, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does. And I mean, if you don't want to care about it, you can have those flights as well, but it's nice it's there.
I'll find a link later. A guy that's just joined us recently is I think he's a CFI, a certified flight instructor, if I'm not wrong. But he sent me a link to a new service, or certainly I'd never seen it before, on the internet, that can analyse your flights in ridiculous detail, and, you know, do full analysis of your approach and landing and all that kind of thing. And, you know, it takes notice.
It's a new paid service.
Yes, it's a paid service.
My flights, I
That's
think.
the one. Yeah.
Yep.
It looks really good.
Is that the same one that was posted on SimHanger? He posted one just recently as well.
It is. He just talked about it. Yep, same thing.
What was the name of it?
It's something like My Flights.
Yeah, I'll
close to
check.
that. It's a subscription-based service, though.
Thanks.
So everyone lining up for runway 35?
Trying to.
Looks like it.
Big trees again to creep over.
Oh, I found a good website for airports called fsxmap.com.
What does it tell you?
It tells you airport information, because sometimes when you fly in different countries, they don't always have easy place to find the information if you want to be, closer to accurate, to tell you the procedures at the airport.
Navigraph is perhaps the best one for that worldwide.
Well, you've got that. Little Nav Map and ChartFox do a pretty good deal.
This next leg is when you can divert a little bit and go and have a look at the city, guys.
Yeah, so the actual leg is 18 degrees, 14 miles over to Essendon, but we'll go right past Melbourne, so we could hang around on this leg for a bit if you want. Go and explore the city.
Is anyone using the Allback secret for them?
Well, isn't the world update for Australia, isn't that an older version of the Orbex scenery anyway?
If you know, I got no clue. Could very well.
Yeah, Orbix has done a lot of work in the Southern Hemisphere, and I think the Sorbos sort of got them to join the fold. Well, they've done some kind of deal.
I enabled it in the add-ons before I started, so hopefully I haven't got duplicates in them.
Live weather's pretty nice today too, guys, if you're not on it.
Yeah, it's like a low-lying mist, isn't there?
Just a few fluffy ones around at low level. Starting to get like that down here. It's getting colder in the mornings. Tell you, in the middle of winter, Melbourne can get very cold. Probably not as cold as you guys, but it's not nice.
Only like 26C or something like that.
Oh no, it gets a lot colder than that.
Well, how's cold?
Sub-zero?
Yeah, single digits.
Okay, yeah.
Get those cold southerlies coming off the Antarctic, and it can be very cold. On the other hand, they get very hot in the summer too because of the big landmass.
I think we got a lot of land glitches here. Spikes.
I was going to say, I don't think I've seen any, but maybe you're looking somewhere that I'm not.
And straight ahead to the city. It looks like if you see. Yeah.
There's some tall
Boards
trees that have been turned into polygons, which sometimes happens.
Ah, that's what they are.
And there's photogrammetry here as well. So it could be a crane.
Anybody who likes flying under bridges, there's one down here on the river.
Right, you online?
Yeah, I'm turning into a slideshow.
Yeah, same here.
Have you got labels on?
Nope.
Seem to have some hot air balloons up in the sky.
They have a giant Ferris wheel here as well.
Can't answer that, sorry. I wasn't aware of one. Very sporty town, Melbourne. It goes nuts with the Melbourne Cup down here on the first Tuesday in November every year.
Yeah, it looks like the terrain built a Ferris wheel out of garbage. Stadium matches your colors there, Jonathan, on your plane. You did that on purpose.
A happy accident. Isn't that what that American painter guy used to say?
Oh, Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Yep, Bob Ross. There are those days just
This is really a nice scenery. I really should get out of BC and fly more around the world.
I think that's half the reason we put the tours together with the VA. It's like they're all over the world, so whenever we make a new one, it's like, where haven't we been? And I will admit very freely that whenever I do a group flight, I always pick somewhere completely random that we've never been before.
Got my files organised, Jonathan, and I've got every flight we've done in the last sort of 18 months, 2 years is in there.
Blimey.
I go back and fly some of them again, you know. Some of the early ones were really great.
Okay.
I'm lining up 3-5.
I was going to say, Essendon is northwest of the city, if you're looking for it.
Runway inside.
I had like a slideshow going on, and I removed my rolling cache, and now it's smooth again.
Yeah, I've had that off for ever since I installed the sim, to be honest.
It's like corrupted data on your hard drive from the terrain.
I must check and see if I've turned mine off because I've got an unlimited data plan, so I don't really need it, do you?
Nah. I think if you're like 100 megabytes or above, you're fine.
That wouldn't be enough for me. I'm churning about 150 a month.
No, about the speed, not the data plan.
So is it a good idea to turn your rolling cache off then?
It is. Yeah, I've never had it on.
I had it on just now, and I had a slideshow in the main city, and I just turned it off, and now it's smooth as butter again.
If you've got a fast enough internet connection, there's no reason to ever have it switched on.
Right.
Essendon, this is one of their top NFL football teams, come from this area.
Right, going back through the city with the rolling cache off.
Is it making a difference?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah, I've just turned the rolling cache off as well. I can't see any difference so far.
I'm trying to turn it back on to see if it makes a difference.
Still getting a magnificent 15 frames a second.
I think that's just photogrammetry, isn't it? It does murder the graphics card.
Did you say 15 frames per second?
Yeah, 1.5.
Oh, enjoy each one of those.
Actually, looking down now, all the buildings seem sort of squashed and flattened and weird, whereas before I turned the rolling cache off, they all seem quite normal.
That may be that your internet connection isn't keeping up with feeding the data then.
Quite likely.
For me, it's a huge difference.
I think it affects everybody differently.
Right.
Without it, it's much better.
And then delete your files too in your rolling cache. You don't want to just have them sitting in there because that's wasting hard drive space.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Right, next stop's coffee break, isn't it?
It is, and then it's the long leg off across the hills.
Coldstream is our coffee break.
Yep.
Yep.
I can see a few people in the live stream chat talking about SkyVector for finding out airfield information. Yeah, it is fantastic. The only thing you have to be aware of with SkyVector is if you go and register for an account now, which is free, just don't file a flight plan because it's a real flight plan.
Much better with a rolling cache off.
There you go.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm going to delete it when we're landing.
Better from what point of view?
Well, I was getting 2 to 3 second pauses, and I was probably getting 20 frames a second with it off.
less stuttering.
Completely.
So never have problems with stuttering until the last 2 updates.
Well, I've just turned the rolling cache off and then back on again, and it doesn't seem to make any difference.
It's working.
When you turn it off and on, it's just recaching what you have, so you're not going to notice any difference if you turn it on again. Turning it off is what makes it go live, though.
Very pretty with the morning sun with those misty low clouds.
It's a very sprawling city, Melbourne. When it comes to its suburban area, it just goes for miles.
So is our full stop at Coldstream?
Yep. So we'll have a break at Coldstream and then the long leg across the hills. The long climb. In the early days of the group, we did a group flight in the Snowy Mountains. It's a really picturesque place.
Yeah, just looking ahead at Snowy Ridge, it's at an elevation of 5,300 feet.
It's about as high as Aussie gets anywhere.
I've actually hiked to the top of the highest mountain in Australia. It's actually quite funny because it's so gentle. There were people taking prams up there.
That's why we get so many of them coming across the ditch in the wintertime. Come over to NZ for our ski fields.
Yeah, I lived in Australia for a couple of years, and their ski fields, they're nice ski fields, but you know what they determine a black or an expert run is almost a learner run here in Canada.
It's chalk and cheese, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I think runway 34 is our choice here.
Looks like it.
Looks like it.
Just looking down at these houses in amongst the trees, it's just like an enormous sprawl, isn't it?
I've been flying over houses for about 10 minutes now.
I think in Australia, 90% of the population lives in about 18% of the landmass. The rest of it's nobody.
Yeah, I've driven from Adelaide to Darwin. There's a whole lot of nothing. That's about 5,000 kilometers.
That must be difficult to concentrate, that sort of journey.
You gotta be watching out for some ruse along the way, so yeah. The one fun thing is, once you get into Northern Territories, you can, it's unlimited speed limit and it's dead straight.
When you mean unlimited?
Truly unlimited.
100, 200?
As fast as you can go.
As fast as you can go and stay on the road.
Look like the Autobahn.
Exactly that.
I want to go there now.
Though there is a story when I was living down there of a guy, a young kid with a Lamborghini, who decided to go out to Northern Territories and do that. Except the roads are for the most part dead straight, but in this particular instance there was a slight curve to the road. He didn't make it at 300 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, I was just remembering a story. My brother had a friend who was a test driver for one of the big car manufacturers, and they used to take cars out. There was a banked track somewhere where they do the the long-term stress tests and stuff. And they took a Lamborghini out there that somebody asked, could you take it out and can I come with you in the passenger seat and see how fast it would go? And they couldn't get it much above about 150, 160 because it became too unstable.
Yeah, one of my friends in Australia, he used to drive road trains, which is the trucks with like 4 wagons on there. And because the roads are dead straight, he used to apparently just hook his leg through the steering wheel and read his newspaper.
What are you flying, Pat?
I don't mean Pat's on voice channel. I tried to talk to him earlier on.
No, he just told me he wasn't speaking to you.
Oh.
I'm struggling to get visuals. I think it's because there's a cloud in the way.
I got the visual, Jonathan.
I'll circle anyway and watch people coming in rather than go straight in.
Have we got live weather, Jonathan?
Yep. There's like a low hanging mist with little fluffy clouds every few miles.
Oh, roger that, yes. I got it over to my west, that sort of stuff. Technical term, that sort of stuff.
It's funny, where I've been slowly working my way through the training course for student pilots. I've got a sheet on the wall now with the various weather acronyms and things like that.
Oh, are you officially going to start flying?
Not in the real world. I thought it would be a fun thing to do for YouTube, for the videos, to go actually work through the same materials and see how much of it applies in the simulator.
Well, quite a bit.
Cool. What about Frida then? It's an easy one.
But yeah, this it's funny because Lee messaged me the other day and gave me a load of mnemonics to go and learn.
Might as well get a real pilot's license now.
It's funny you say that because I've had quite a bit of interest from YouTube where people have emailed me privately that are flight instructors, and they actually actively want to help because they're interested as well to see how it goes.
Yeah, you might get a discount.
It's been quite funny. Actually, Bucket Airfield have messaged, well, not somebody from Bucket Airfield has messaged me commenting on how accurate the scenery looked in the simulator for the, flying the pattern.
Yeah, you should take them up on it. You probably get a huge discount.
It was the woman in the cafe.
Oh, that's Natasha.
How accurate is the coffee?
No, what he's joking about, a friend of ours, their daughter, that I've known since she was at junior school with our kids, she actually runs the cafe at Wickham Air Park, so...
Oh, you're going to get free coffee.
I have to go in there and get a bacon butty from her. Apparently they're famous.
Just don't tell Alice about the coffee.
Speaking of which, I'm going to get one. Back in a minute.
Have you ever been in a real GA aircraft, Jonathan?
Yeah, I've flown one. Because our next door neighbour was training. He already had his PPL, but he was going for, I guess you have to get a number of hours before you can then go on to instrument flight and things like that.
Yep.
So he was obviously trying to scrape the money together to get the hours up, so he offered to take other people up if they'd share the cost of the flight.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, yep.
So yeah, I flew for, I don't know, about half an hour's worth of the flight, and he couldn't get over that because I'd only touched the simulator. And this was back in the early 2000s, I guess, or no, late 90s. But yeah, he was amazed, and it really showed, he said himself, it showed how far the simulators had come.
Oh, that's drastically. Like I told you when I was just flying last year with a friend with a Cessna 182, he got a new GPS put into it, and we couldn't get the airplane to level. He would try to have the autopilot adjust the altitude. I'm like, well, you gotta click this button, this button, this button. I'm like, do you mind if I do it? He's like, go ahead. So we're in the airplane trying to figure out how to get the vertical speed, to work. And it works just like it does in the aircraft, in the simulator. And he's like, I can't believe somebody that plays a video game showed me how to do this.
Is that when you punched him?
He hasn't invited me since.
It was funny though, the thing he commented the most upon was I could fly the plane easily enough and I could follow, flying according to instruments easily, but what I didn't have was the procedures of looking outside a lot and things like that. Just scanning.
It's because in the flight sim you're used to scanning your instruments a lot to see what you're doing, whereas in a real aircraft you really got to look outside.
Yeah, and that was the thing he pulled me up on. It was like while I was busy focusing on doing what he'd asked me to do of holding an altitude and a direction, I wasn't looking outside.
No, you're watching that little bubble. And you don't have a cheat like a little nav map. Little nav map it's kind of cheating. You usually don't have that, especially on an analog.
Use VirtualFlight and iPad.
Yeah, you can do that, but if you're starting your instructions and you're in a cheap training plane, there's no glass cockpit. It's all analog steam engines or steam gauges.
Well, in 2 weeks' time, I've got my real-world instrument renewal flight, which I have to do every year. And I've been hitting the simulator like crazy, doing ILSs at Southend and Lyd every day. And I tell you what, it really, really is realistic. It really helps. It gets that muscle memory back like nothing else. It's incredible.
Yeah, especially for the instrumental, right? The actual feel, you don't have that with the simulator, right?
It's pretty good. I mean, there's very little difference between the simulator and the real world. Very little difference now.
But I still think sometimes judging distance for landing can be tricky sometimes in this.
Yeah, on the 2D screen, yeah. Unless you're in 3D, right?
Well, in VR, I can tell you it's exactly like the real thing. Just exactly.
Well, you could clear something up for us, David. I just thought of that Hugh mentioned the other day, and I'd seen it as well in the sim. Have they decommissioned the VOR at Lyd?
That's a good question. I'm not sure, actually. I could look that up.
Just in the last couple of months or so, I think, I've noticed, anyway, it only acts as a DME in the game now. It doesn't act as a VOR anymore.
That's interesting. To be honest, I don't know, to be honest.
Were the sim updates removing the VORs?
Will they be following whatever's available in the real world?
Right. Well, I was wondering if they could remove it in-game instantly, or it's removed only from
It's just in the database, isn't it? That they should get a signal on this frequency from this location and this range.
Oh, okay.
I must admit, I haven't heard of it being decommissioned in the real world. I'd be surprised if it has been, because it's part of lots of standard departures from Biggin Hill. Apart from
That's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah, I use it all the time. But I do use Navigraph to update my sim, and in Navigraph it's now just listed as a DME.
Ah, so there you go.
Interesting.
A lot of the standard instrument departures from the big airports around London go via there as well. Although some of them go to Clacton as well, don't they?
Yeah,
I think if they decommission it, that's to turn it off.
Well, I hope this airport has a loo. Gotta go.
Alright, I'm done for the night. I'll see you guys later.
Cool. See you soon.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Good night.
I was also wondering if they're going to remove the VOR functionality, why maintain the DME? I wouldn't have thought it would make that much difference, but perhaps it does.
Actually, that's very interesting. Looking on Navigraph, yeah, it says Lyd is just a DME. That's
yeah, so I'm sure that explains the behaviour in the sim, because as I say, I use Navigraph to update the data, so I guess it must have been.
Right, well, in this little coffee pause, I'm going to go and look that up and see what's going on.
Someone has mentioned in the live stream that they got their CPL at Point Cook. Yeah, we were speculating the other day whether over time all of the VOR stations will eventually disappear.
Is it because of the GPS?
Yeah. Yeah, GPS, I imagine, will take over from all of it eventually, because it is much better. It's just that flying radio navigation is more fun.
Interesting.
I think fun meaning involved.
Yeah. Or maybe more terrifying, waiting for the signal if you're heading towards a station. I didn't realise for the longest time that the transatlantic flights used to use the quarter windows in the cockpit. So the older airliners have got those quarter windows for astral navigation.
Yeah, they also have the overhead window on older planes, like from the 30s.
Yep.
There's a mod on FSTO. You can do celestial nav in the sim. Good luck. God, imagine doing that without a calculator that can do the formulas for you. Yeah, you can use a simulated sextant.
And that's why they had a dedicated navigator, I guess.
You had a stiff neck.
Imagine doing all that in the Spirit of St. Louis.
Yeah, I guess he must have just taken readings from sun position, star position. That's all he really could do, isn't it? I guess if you're planning an exact route...
He got down to about 10 foot over the ocean with icing as well.
Oh my word. I'm guessing if you know you're doing a very specific journey on a very specific day, though, you could make yourself cheat sheets up of where particular stars should be. And, you know, at particular times. So you could actually dumb it down enormously for yourself.
Yeah, they must have done that, surely.
Yeah, definitely.
Because then you'd know if it's off to one side or the other that you're north or south or east or west of where you should be. Right, I'm going to go and get back in the air and start orbiting the airfield.
Hey, good evening, gentlemen. It's Bill 258, just joining you.
Hiya, how you doing?
Very good, thanks, John. Yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you.
So I'd say thanks very much for your informative videos you've been putting up recently.
Oh, that's alright. I'm just taking people on the journey with me, really. Lots of things to learn.
Spot on.
Oh my god, the P-38 just evaporated. Which warbirds do you have, Jonathan?
I actually don't. I've never really got into the warbirds in Flight Simulator. I've flown a couple of them on free trials in DCS, but I've never really bothered with them.
That's a whole other language, though.
Yeah. But at least in that you can shoot stuff.
Go, you're a footballing man.
Are we on the move again yet, guys, or are we...
Yeah, I've just started to orbit the airfield, waiting for everybody else to come back. In a few minutes, we'll head off again.
Okay, just had my last bite of Vegemite. Gotta go.
Somebody's mic stuck.
Joe, it's you.
No, that was me just with the brakes on, or is it the live stream?
I don't know, it's fine now, but yeah, your light was on for a while.
Yeah, it was just on the brakes.
But no one was home.
Patrick.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, fabulous, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. I was talking to you earlier on, but he wasn't responding.
Oh, sorry, the headphones were on.
I was a bit upset. I was a bit worried. I thought, what's wrong with Pat?
Oh, no.
And then Joe said he's not talking to you.
Oh, still up. Headphones don't work when they're charging.
I'm on your Christmas list.
I didn't say again.
What? A new pair on your Christmas list?
They were new for Christmas.
Take them back then.
But that's a feature of them, they don't work when they're charging.
Not fit for purpose.
It does actually say on there that they don't work when they're charging, so it's doing what it's meant to do. I have to remember to do it when I'm not wearing them.
It's funny, we've got no end of those battery stick things around the house for emergency use, the USB,
Oh, yes.
and none of them are ever charged up. And the kids come running in saying, "Have you got one of them?" And I say, "Did you charge it?" "No." "Well, it's not going to be charged then, is it?"
No, but even if I use one of those, it still wouldn't work. Because it's the physical act of putting the cable in. stops it from working.
Oh, I didn't realise Hugh was in the Antonov.
I started off in that, it's not quick enough.
Wasn't quick enough to keep you in the air, was it, Pat?
No. Oops.
Yeah, Jonathan tricked me into buying it, so I thought I may as well learn it.
Yeah, people keep saying that.
Yeah, me too. He fooled me, but I'm happy about it.
You owe me about £150, Jonathan, already. Do you realise that?
I think there's a lot of other halves around that are furious with me.
Yeah, my wife's not impressed.
You're not impressed with you anyway.
Terrible! You're not allowed to say that. I'll tell you what, I'm going. Bye.
I'm going to have to make a complaint form, aren't I? Right,
She's a lovely lady.
Is everybody in the air yet? Oh, there's still a few on the ground. We'll hang on a bit longer.
You've cooked your goose now, Pat. Sorry, mate.
What was I going to say? Oh, that I got that Zenith stall thing.
Is he good?
It's good fun.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Trouble is, I've got so many of that kind of aeroplane. I kind of think, do I need another one?
But you don't have this one. It comes with three other airports and a bush trip. Come on.
But will I fly it more than once?
Yeah, you have to do 2 videos on it. 1 video and 1 group flight, done.
And it's got skis and floats, so you've got to do 3 videos.
Do you know,
skis and floats.
I have never had a go on any of the planes that have skis.
Well, what are you waiting on? It's almost done. We're almost done with winter. And
Hey,
the next update's Antarctica, so this is perfect.
Seeing as the Twin Otter is now no longer for sale, does that mean those of us that own it can sell it at an enormous profit?
How many people do you know that want it?
Well, maybe that's why it's no longer for sale.
Are they still doing updates?
I think they're looking after people that have bought it, but you can no longer buy it.
It's such a strange scenario.
They must be losing money then. That's mad.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the situation is. And is it Mateus that's the owner of Aerosoft? Yeah. He was being quite kind of, I don't know, strategic in what he told people.
He was being cagey, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It sounds like they're going to repackage it with something. It's just that, as Steve pointed out earlier, they really ought to have got whatever it is ready before they discontinued the legacy aircraft.
Is it already released on Xbox?
I don't know.
Well, then maybe that's what's happening.
Or maybe it could be a licensing thing. It may be that something they had as part of the aircraft they've lost the license for.
Then why didn't they just say that?
Don't know. I thought it was interesting that in the recent updates with Asobo, they actually specifically mentioned that the reason the Antonov AN2 was held back and the 225 for so long is because the relationship with Antonov had been difficult in the past, and they have opened up just recently, which is why those aircraft have suddenly been made available, or made possible even.
Possibly due to a little war?
Well, maybe that.
Isn't it the same with Learjet? That's why they don't exist?
Yeah, they've never allowed them in simulators, have they?
Not the first one.
Well, yeah.
The first one had a jet.
FSX had Learjet.
Yeah, it did. Had the 45, didn't it? Had a 60.
Yeah, I used to fly it all the time. I loved it. Don't know why we haven't got it now.
Yeah, me too. And got everything pat.
So, is there a Learjet in X-Plane?
Don't believe so, is there?
Well, the longitude's just as good, if not better, so go for that.
And the CJ4 is amazing after AAU1.
Yeah.
Learjets changed ownership though, didn't they?
I don't know.
Maybe that's it. They didn't have a license anymore. So when Microsoft first had something that wasn't Camel or a Cessna, it was a Learjet, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I know most of your team don't remember that.
So if everybody would like to start off flying towards the destination, it's best part of 70 miles, 60 degrees across the hills, and start climbing.
Well, I've been climbing for ages, Jonathan, circling over the airfield, waiting for everybody, and I'm already at 6,000, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
5,700.
You're there then.
I didn't hit anything on the way, I know that.
It's all downhill now for you.
It is.
There's lots of
It's fantastic. Also, there's a lot of turbulence around, guys.
Lots of puddles.
What I want to know, Joe, is why can't I see you in that fantastic livery? I see you with a white Airbus.
Because you haven't got the livery, probably.
Oh, bloody have, I painted it.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I do not have an answer.
Not because of that multiplayer thing that Greg sweared me to Lord.
What was that? Oh, no, FSLTL.
Yeah.
I was going to say, have a look at my stream, but I'm not streaming. Now I am. No, I'm not.
I did a cheat and had a look at this yesterday, and then I went into Google Maps. You think I could find the airfield there? Yeah, very hard. But with the help of a little nav map, it's very good.
Yeah, I see what you mean, Pat.
Strange.
Would you like me to let me know when I threw my air brakes on, you flew right past?
Very clever.
Just get rid of my auto throttle.
Lee, you've got the Flying Iron Spitfire, haven't you?
Hey, firm.
You didn't see me as a Spitfire.
I just looked at your stream and I could see you as a Spitfire, but I haven't seen you fly alongside me yet.
I was behind you. Well, I've flown past you a few times. I was behind you at the last airfield.
No, I didn't see you as a Spitfire.
Like a Bonanza.
Yeah, I'm in the Bonanza, the analog one. Which is pretty cool, I have to say. It's really cool.
Our Bonanza.
Yeah, I think it's the best current GA plane, actually.
I tell you, I've got the Baron, not the Bonanza.
Well, it's just a Bonanza with 2 engines.
Yeah, it is pretty cool though. I must admit, I'm really impressed with it.
Goes a bit quicker too, doesn't it?
Yep.
Oh, you frozen. I hunted mugs down last night with the F-14. I saw it was online and I was messing around in Canada. And he flew. I put myself in Sault Ste. Marie in the end. And he flew overhead and I caught up with him.
Did he talk to you?
We typed to each other.
Dave, how on earth did you manage to crash a Hawk there?
Just in case anyone might be interested, I've just spent a few minutes looking up the lid VOR thing, and I can't see any reason why there shouldn't be a working VOR there. There's no NOTAMs, and it's still on the NAT's website and so on. So that's a bit strange.
Could be a mistake.
Got it wrong then. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, one.
Yeah, I noticed it a couple of weeks ago. I did a live stream flying the BAE 146 around London, VOR to VOR, just showing people how it works. And yeah, was flying out towards Lid and had no signal. I thought,
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go flying the next day or two. I'll go and check it out and see if it works in real life, and maybe next week, if I've done that, I'll let you know.
Looks like runway 36 at Snowy Range.
Yep.
This is where the Discord server boosting really comes in handy, isn't it? We've got quite a few people streaming now, and everyone's got 1080p.
Fantastic. They haven't got back to me on the partner status yet, so I imagine they haven't looked yet.
I imagine they've got a massive queue.
Probably. Although they did say they tried to do it within 30 days, so...
How is Discord paid for? Because there don't seem to be any adverts or anything.
You can purchase special abilities on your own account, and part of that gives you tokens that you can give to servers you are a member of, which then uprates what those servers are capable of doing. So for example, a number of people have got paid accounts with Discord that are members, and they have given their tokens to us. They've got a special name, but I'll just call them tokens. They've donated their tokens to us, which allows us to have things like high definition streams and higher quality audio. So as an individual, you can have a paid account with Discord, which is about a £5 a month. But it gives you special abilities, basically.
Special powers.
Yes. So you get higher personal streaming abilities, but you can obviously, if enough people donate their tokens then to a channel that they're a member of, or sorry, a server they're a member of, then that server can give everybody that benefit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, seems an extraordinary system.
Seems to work.
Discord is pretty much the biggest, by far, communication program that gamers use, so it's got an absolutely massive audience.
Well, the sound quality that we have is excellent, isn't it?
That's because a number of people have donated their tokens to the server.
Sorry, what was that? I couldn't hear you.
Breaking up.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say that's...
Maybe it's not good.
You're being had, Jonathan.
I know. I realised halfway through
Sorry,
replaying.
Jonathan, can you speak up? Can you speak up a bit, Jonathan? We're losing
You're
you.
going to be shouting, aren't you?
April Fool's Day was a couple of days ago, guys.
Something that might be of interest to anybody else if they stream anything online through OBS. I discovered, I should have looked at this a long time ago, and Joe will probably shake his head at this point. I finally discovered you can set up compressors in OBS, so you never have the issue of your microphone being overdriven.
Oh, didn't you know that?
It's a shame Discord doesn't have it.
I'm pretty sure it has something kind of like it.
It's got voice attenuation, is that?
Yeah, but it doesn't have any way of kind of normalising the volumes of the people in the channel, does it?
No, not as far as I know.
Are we there yet?
On our way. We're about 40 miles away.
It wasn't me, Joe, that went past you.
Is that enough?
You wanted to
behind
know
you.
for the chard in the back seat?
Yes.
This Bonanza is amazing. It told me that the temperature in the cabin was 4 degrees, so I pulled out the little cabin heater switch a bit, and now it's rising up gradually. Extraordinary.
In the Baron, the heating system uses a little fuel heater in the nose, and the seal can fail on it if you've got damage switched on, and you can fill the cabin with carbon monoxide and set the alarm off.
Oh my word.
I wonder why I was feeling a little bit sleepy.
No, that was the wine after dinner.
I have to say, the Baron, this analog Baron's amazing.
I think
I'll
it
have to buy the
models...
Bonanza now.
I think the Baron models seal failures on the doors and things like that as well.
Wow.
If you like that, all the Black Square remakes are just as good.
Yep.
Stop doing that, Joe.
Why?
Do what the man tells you.
Keep telling me it's going to rain.
No, it's too low to rain.
Precisely.
Pull up, pull up. Can't believe Rob Driver's not got on this yet.
No, a few weeks ago I said, you need to get yourself on it. He said, well, I haven't got a computer. I'll go and buy one then, you've got plenty of money. Which he has.
Maybe I should invite him round one day and say, right, come on, sit at this computer and have a go.
Do it.
Did anybody tell him that buying the computer's only the start of a slippery slide? Then you want extra monitors or a VR set, or you know,
a new graphics card,
the honeycomb setup. This goes on and on. Got to draw a line in the sand somewhere and say, I'm happy with my lot, thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy with my 3 monitors.
Yeah, do you want to follow me to 30,000 peak plan?
No.
But when will you get a 6 DOF full motion sim?
Oh, I forgot to do the lottery last night, so...
I haven't got enough room in the garage for that. And I do have a problem. Everything I buy, every time I buy something for the sim, my wife reads it as an open license to go shopping.
Aren't you supposed to be giving us the lottery numbers from the future?
That's right.
We've done that a couple of times and it doesn't work.
It hasn't paid off yet.
No.
On about buying things and slippery slopes. On about slippery slopes. When I got this tuition kit from Poolies off the internet and it all arrived, they sent me a catalogue in the box. Oh my word, now that is a slippery slope. So things like a David Clark headset costs £1,000.
Big boys' toys.
I think the Bose ones for the aircraft are 2,000, 1,600.
They just silly money, yeah.
The ones that they have modeled in the Vision Jet, yeah, each one of those is 2,000 each.
When are they coming, Johnson?
For review when?
I actually bought a USB connector that I can plug into my computer, and my David Clark's plug into that, so I could actually use my David Clark's while we're doing this, but I don't because they're too heavy.
So what's the huge advantage of them? Where is the money in those things?
I mean, they're pretty good quality, but I mean, I've had mine about 20 years now, and I'm sure they've gone on leaps and bounds, but I think they're just the ones to have, and they were good when I'm flying. I don't know if David uses David Clark's.
Yeah, well, I used to use David Clark's years ago, then I got a couple of Boses, and they are better. I mean, they're very light, and the sound quality is excellent, and the noise reduction's brilliant, and they hardly use any battery, whereas the Dave Clark's noise reduction headsets just used to eat through the batteries like crazy. So they're much better, basically.
Yeah,
There's 5 of them.
I've got some Peltor ones which are very good. But budget prices really compared with Bose.
Bose.
Of course.
I will admit,
footballing man.
Yeah, it's interesting. If you're American, it's Bose, and if you're German or French, it's Bose.
Not bucket and bouquet.
so I don't know if anybody else is interested on the channel, slight detour, but this Poolies catalogue has got no end of beer mats that are aircraft instruments. Or coasters, I should say.
What did you tell me about that for?
So you can get coasters that are aircraft, like altimeters and stuff, so you can bore people to tears as you give them a drink.
For the coffee stops.
John, have I told you I've built a bar in my cabin end of my garden?
I've seen the pictures, it looks amazing.
Yeah, I know, it's incredible. It's getting there slowly but surely, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Have you seen the post?
Woodworking yourself?
Both that?
Have you done all the carpentry and what have you yourself?
I built the bar, I didn't build the shed. I built the bar with the wood that was left over from the shed, but yeah, I'm quite proud of that because I'm no carpenter, but yeah, so the bar was built from wood that was left over from the shed that they left behind.
That's the VFL Christmas do sorted out then.
All round to Leeds and the Aviator. I mean, the other thing I've done as well, I've put some proper pumps in there, and since I've done that, I've been collecting aviation-themed beer clips, and I'm now up to about 60, and trust me, some of those weren't cheap.
What is it?
Do you know when you have draft beer and you have the taps, the handles that you pull. Well, all the breweries have these little clips that go on the front to advertise what kind of beer it is. So you can get lots of different ones, but I've been collecting the ones that are aviation themed. So yeah, got a really good collection going, and now because I can't stop buying them.
Have you seen the Spitfire advertising campaign from, I think it was the late 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah.
Spitfire I can't think of the name of the brewery that makes Spitfire beer.
Shepherd Neame.
Yeah, Shepherd Neame, that's it. They're brilliant though. There's things like, what was it?
Down all over Kent.
That was it. Just
I've
like
got
the
one up on my
Luftwaffe.
wall. I can just, there's no fucker comes close.
That's the one. One that made me laugh was somebody's other half sat looking at a watch getting really angry, and there's a clock in the background saying like 1 in the morning, and it just says Victoria Cross underneath it.
Where did you see the pictures on Facebook, John?
No, they're on the Poolies website. Are you on about the coasters?
No, pictures of my.
Oh yeah, sorry, I
my
saw them on Facebook. Yes.
Yeah.
Any progress on the T-shirts, Jonathan?
I'd completely forgotten about them. To be honest, I did set a load of stuff up in a US shop, but then I found out I had to go and fill a load of tax forms in, and that came to a halt. So I'm still looking around for a decent place that will make the T-shirts. But the trouble is, I want to find somewhere that will take the order and make it and ship it all in one go. And there are various shops around that will do that. It's just I need to sit down and do the research and then go and put the designs in.
Wasn't there a guy on one of the flights that had a tie-up, John?
Yeah, but normally shops like that, they'll want me to go and buy like 100 of them or whatever. So we'll see.
I'll do that.
Because there's lots of shops around. Cafe Press was the big popular one kind of 10 years ago, where you just put the designs in there and they make it and ship it out for you.
Could set up shop on the website, Jonathan,
We
on
could.
the VirtualFlight.Online,
Yeah.
and you could take pre-orders.
Yeah, I think Alice needs to get on to Vistaprint and get some coffee mugs done.
It's finding a place that doesn't rip you off as well, though, because some of them are just, they give you a really nice experience with designing and making stuff, but they charge twice as much as you would expect for the actual products.
Look at my stream.
I was going to say, you haven't got to understand, Jonathan, Porsches aren't cheap.
Too bumpy.
Yeah, it's a bit of turbulence. But yeah, a cool livery. I've downloaded it today from Flight Sim TO.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anybody got a visual on this airfield yet?
I'm still about
No.
20 miles out, I think. 16 miles.
I think it's in this quiet.
We're all concentrating, that's why.
Hey Beckett, are you still with us? No, I think you're falling asleep, Jonathan.
You might have done.
I think he logged off when he crashed his Hawk. It must have been a rage quit.
Is he VFL 102?
No, he would be
101.
Yes. But I don't know if he's got that in transmitter. He might just have DJB or something. Or Beckett Senior, I think it says.
Yeah.
So Snowy Range looks like it's on. Is it on a ridge? It looks like it is.
It is. It's straight in front of me somewhere, Jonathan, but I can't see it.
And you've been there in the sim before?
Yes, I know. I've been lots of places before and I never remember until I get there. I have to speak to Ryan at some point because we've just booked our summer holiday. We're off to Tenerife for the first time ever, which he flies into every other day.
Is that EasyJet?
I think it might be, yeah.
Nice place, Tenerife. You'll have a good time.
Yeah, we were debating between Fuerteventura and Tenerife, and we went to go and book at Fuerteventura, and it was all booked out and gone, so we ended up going to Tenerife instead.
Yeah, Tenerife's nicer.
Amazing what YouTube will pay for.
Sorry?
I said it's amazing what YouTube will pay for.
No, that's not paying for this. This is out of myself and my other halves. Saving up, basically. It's we've already said to the kids, because they're 18, 19 and 22 now, we said this is the last big holiday we are going to pay for everybody. After this, it's up to you guys. So it's our last big family holiday, because they'll obviously start seeing people and doing their own thing. And
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hi, Roy.
Anyone need a luggage carry?
Roy.
How's your new yoke going, Roy?
Very well indeed.
Brilliant.
Oh,
which one did you get, Roy?
Sorry?
Which one did you get?
Oh, I got another honeycomb.
So there was definitely something wrong with the old one then?
Oh, yeah. No doubt about that.
What are you going to do with the old one, Roy?
Well, I'm going to strip it down and have a look, because I'm not going to give it away, because I had to buy it. But I'm going to see if I can get the top off and have a quick look inside to see whether it's got a potentiometers in it or what.
They're probably Hall effect, I would have thought.
I'm sure I've seen some videos on YouTube. Go have a look, you might find. There's a guy pulled one apart to make some adjustments. I saw it a long time ago.
Yeah.
Might be helpful.
Yeah, I might have a look inside, because as far as I know from talking to them, because they've been very good, Aerosoft, to try and get this other one working, and it didn't work. But he told me that the controls have not got potentiometers in like a lot of the cheaper ones, so they must be electronic something or other that controls the movement on the X and the Y axis. It was only one axis that was playing up. It was the X axis, the Y axis and the L axis were all okay. It was the X axis that was playing up.
Probably just a chip inside it that's had it somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I reckon.
Yeah, it's just the Hall effect, so there's a little magnet on the bottom of your joystick and over a little chip.
And how many times do we tell you don't eat your fish and chips over the joystick?
I've had my Bravo set up for a while and I love it. It's really good.
Well, as I say, I've just done a flight with it tonight, and I've been messing about with all the GA traffic, which I was absolutely totally unable to fly with this other yoke. It was absolutely impossible, but I've been flapping around in the Stearman and the PA-28 and the 152s and all the rest of it, no problem at all.
Brilliant.
So I'll sign up and I better get qualified, hadn't I? The umpteen blooming time.
You can cheat that. The VA sets the bar extremely low. You will notice in the ACARS client you can do free flights. So all you need to do is an hour's worth of a flight and just file it in ACARS, and as soon as you've logged an hour you become private pilot and you can go and do all the tours and everything.
Some guy called...
Nearly up to 1,000 hours on the sim, guys. I've only got about...
Oh my word.
Anybody done 1,000 hours yet?
I've done nearly 2,000 hours.
That's good heaven.
Just on my air, I've done nearly 2,000.
Yeah, I've done nearly 2,000 on VAV.
1,700 according to Steam. Though 1,000 of those hours are download and update.
Yeah, so those my air hours are the ones that have been logged.
I got another life as well, guys. I go fishing.
I don't know how to find out how many hours I've been playing this for. I'm not sure if I want to know.
This particular one, you just...
Well, the sim will tell you your total hours you've had in the sim. So, but, you know, there's two lots, isn't there? There's the hours that we're getting, that you record on the in the airline.
Yeah.
But then the sim actually gives you your total hours, no matter what you do.
As long as you're not in developer mode.
Yeah, I never use dev mode.
Oh, is that right?
What are you doing in a tree?
Well, guys, I'm going to leave here. Thank you for the flight. It's been great. I've got visitors that I've got to go and say goodbye to. They've been here all weekend, and I told them that I wouldn't be available for a couple of hours on Monday morning. They're very forgiving. I think they got their own breakfast, so I better go and say goodbye.
See you soon, Ellis.
See you, Ellis, mate.
Thanks a lot.
I watched a nice line up at the airfield.
Somebody else's stream. Get carried away looking at somebody else's stream and you forget that's not your aircraft.
Is that you in a Spitfire or something, Patrick?
Yes. Just about to change it.
Oh, I've got you in the middle of an orchard, is that about right?
Well, trees of some sort.
Oh,
Because what happened, I was watching somebody else's stream and forgot it wasn't mine.
You selfish so.
You go and control the aircraft that you see and it's not yours.
Right, I've got you in the air now. I'm not quite sure what it is, but you're in the air.
It's quite a thin air up here.
Who's flying the Bulldog?
Yeah, I'm in a Bulldog.
Right, I'm going to have an extra dish of drink. Good night, gentlemen. See you all again. Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Good night from me as well. Bye.
Yep, nice to see you.
Night. Good night from him.
Yep, see ya.
I've got about 50 hours of it.
Some guy called Harrison has very good videos on setting up the Bravo equipment.
Okay. Okay. Hang on a second, up on the... Oh. That's right.
I think I might need my spoilers armed for this one.
Might make a better job than you did the last one. I saw you.
Yeah, I had the steering wheel over, unfortunately.
What's the tail dragging 737?
I can see a DC-3 here.
Well, I've got a DC-3. Why can't I see it as a DC-3?
No idea.
Weird.
And there's a spruce goose coming in. It's about to scratch his underneath on the runway, but look at it.
Yeah, I saw that as a 737 as well, or an Airbus.
He just vanished. Oh, he's now changed into a Airbus.
Yeah. You were following that earlier on, weren't you? There was a spruce goose there.
Yeah. I think they've got some bugs in their multiplayer code, maybe. Right, I'm going to call it a night here and close the live stream off.
Cheers,
Good
John.
night.